Okay guys, we continue. This is the second part of the video. Here Mr. Meadows greeting you all again. And in this part, we're going to learn about reporting questions, right? When you report a question, you have to change the structure of interrogative form to positive statement order. Normally what we do is to suppress any auxiliary and move modal verbs after the subject. We add if the question is a yes no question, and we keep the question word as a connector for the information questions. As you see, for example, we have the yes no question, are you happy? Here, the verb to be has the function of an auxiliary, but it's an auxiliary that we use as a model. When we use the quote in the question and we change it to reported speech, we have to add a connector, right? Here, we don't have any connector between the quote and the subject and the reported verb. But in reported speech, when we use it, we may, right, we add a connector, and after the connector, we use the reported information. If, for example, right, we are using a tense, we apply the rule of the opposites, right? Present, change to past. And the order, right, that we were using of a question is not used in reported speech. So here, instead of saying if was I, we say I was. So the order is the order of a normal sentence. The same happen, right, if you're using a question when we're using auxiliaries that appear only in the question form, for example, do or did, they disappear when we use the reported speech. And we change the verb to the form that is opposite to the tense that is being used in the question. If the question is in present, the sentence had to be changed right into past. And no auxiliary is used right in the reported form. Then, things to consider, right? Remember that if the subject of a question is you, normally that person, right, is the person who spoke, right? For example, did you have a cat? Right? Tommy asked. This person, right, who make the question doesn't have relation to the person who is receiving the question. So when we make the reported speech, we have to change right you for the pronoun I, right? Because that's the person who received the information and is making the report. That's why we change you for I. And obviously the tense, right, had to be changed to what that correspond to the opposite. For example, here in simple past, we change it to past perfect. And the subject that was you, we change it, we use it as I. And because it was a question that used the auxiliary did, the auxiliary did disappears in the reported speech. Another example is where has she lived? Here in this case, the subject of the question is not you. When that happens, we keep that subject in the reported speech. And we change only the tense, right, of the question. If we have a connector, right, the connector is going to be the question word, right, that was used in the quote of the question. So we transform the question word into a connector, and the order of the of the sentence is now the order of a normal sentence. It's not a question anymore. So we don't say where has she lived, but we say where she had lived. We change this from present perfect to past perfect. Another other examples of this would be, will you paint your house? So this is the quote. You see how in the reported speech, because this is a yes no question, we use the connector if, we change the order to normal sentence, and we change the tense. The auxiliary will changes to the opposite would, and the order is the order of a normal sentence. The same happened here. The connector is the subject, so we don't have a subject here because the connector is the subject in this sentence. So we only keep right the change of the tenses. Here, the subject is the party. The tense was in the question. The question is an information question, so we keep the connector after reported verb, and then the order of a normal sentence, right? We don't say where had the party been, but we say where the party had been, changing simple past to past perfect. If we use an auxiliary that isn't just no question, remember it disappears. If it's simple present, we change the verb to simple past. So A yes no question, remember, right, always takes, right, the connector if in the question form. So this is basically the elements that you have to consider, my friends, for how to change a question into the reported speech. Thank you very much for paying attention to this class. I hope this helped you as an explanation. If you have any further question, we can solve it in the video conference. Thank you very much and goodbye.